Fewer high school seniors could be headed to college this fall after a new, chaotic, and, beyond frustrating, FAFSA process appears to have led to a drop in the number of students applying for federal financial aid, especially among those who may need the student aid most. Newly released data from the National College Attainment Network shows 1,370,815. That's how many FAFSA forms had been completed as of April 19, 29.1% less than last year. This year's FAFSA applications were first released to prospective students on December 30th, 3 months later than its usual date of October 1st. The form was open for just hours at a time in the first few days in a soft launch that saw hundreds of thousands of students start, but not able to complete, filling out all of the required information. The tech issues have alleviated somewhat since the initial, soft launch, but students have still reported delays in processing time, lengthy waits to fix any errors and trouble for parents creating their federal student aid ID, particularly those who are not U.S. citizens. The issues led to delays in colleges receiving the information from the federal government, which in turn meant schools couldn't tell students about their aid eligibility until mid-April, giving them just weeks to decide on a school by the usual May 1st deadline. More than 190 schools have since pushed their decision deadlines to mid-May or June. Richard Cordray, head of the Federal Student Aid (FSA) office, on Friday stepped down from the position. Some in Congress called for him to step down following this year's chaotic rollout, and his replacement has not yet been announced. This year's version of the application is substantially different from those released in years past and implements changes mandated by Congress in 2020 meant to help the Department of Education overhaul its lending process and change the formulas by which the amount of aid given per student is determined. The formulas used this year, however, still relied on consumer price index figures from years ago that don't account for recent inflation, leading to lower aid packages for some students. Other changes eliminated the multi-student discount for families with more than one child in college and reduced assistance for wealthier or middle-income families. This year's application includes only 36 questions, far fewer than the 108 of years past. The federal deadline to complete the FAFSA is June 30, 2025, but each state has its own deadline, many of which are significantly earlier. In some states, the deadline has already passed.